Welcome, curious minds, to The Deep Dive. Just take a moment. Think about the sheer variety of animals out there. Tiny ants, huge whales. It's almost overwhelming, isn't it? Over 1 million species described, probably loads more we haven't found. So, with all that incredible diversity, how on earth do we make sense of it all? That's what we're diving into today. We've got this great stack of info on animal classification and our mission. To break it down, we want to give you those memorable takeaways, the key ideas. Think of it as your shortcut to understanding the basic blueprints of animal life. So you can look at an animal and kind of see the core design principles, how it fits in.
Exactly. And the sources we're looking at, they provide a really systematic approach. They focus on key features that lots of animals share, even if they look totally different, And knowing these features, it lets scientists figure out where even newly discovered species belong. It's like a universal key.
Okay, let's unpack this then. We need to start with those really fundamental things scientists look at, right? These aren't just random categories. They define whole groups. And, well, they actually tell us a lot about the journey life took.
Yeah, it's fascinating because despite all the differences in structure, animals share these basics, how their cells are arranged, body symmetry, body cavities, patterns in their internal systems. These are absolutely crucial for classification. They're the building blocks.
Okay, so first up, levels of organization. All animals are multicellular, sure, but how those cells get together varies a lot, right?
It does. At the very simplest level, you have the cellular level. Think sponges. Cells are just loose clumps, basically.
Yeah.
There's some division of labor, but it's pretty basic stuff.
Just cells hanging out together, more or less.
Pretty much. Then you get the tissue level. Here, cells doing the same job group up into actual tissues. Coelenterics, like jellyfish, are a good example. You're seeing coordination there.
Okay, getting more organized.
Definitely. Next is the organ level. Now, tissues group together to form organs, each doing a specific job, like in Platyhelminthes, the flatworms. And finally, the most complex, the organ system level. Organs work together in systems digestive, circulatory, you name it. This is what you see in, well, most animals we know. Annelids, arthropods, mollusks, echinoderms, and chordates, us included.
Wow. And even within those organ systems, there's variation, right? You mentioned digestion.
Absolutely. Take the digestive system. Some animals have an incomplete system, just one opening for both mouth and anus. Flatworms, for example.
Okay, not ideal.
Not super efficient, no. Then you have the complete system. 2 openings, mouth and anus, much better for processing food, way more advanced.
And what about circulation? You said that varies too.
Yeah, the circulatory system, you've got open systems where blood just kind of washes over the tissues, pumped out of the part, then floods the body cavity.
Sounds a bit messy.
It works for smaller critters. But then you have closed systems, like ours. Blood stays inside vessels, arteries, veins, capillaries. Much more controlled, much more efficient for delivering oxygen. Essential for bigger, more active animals. You see the difference.
Totally. Different designs for different needs. Okay, so organization levels. Check it. What about the overall body shape? Symmetry.
Right, symmetry. That's a really obvious visual cue. Some animals are just asymmetrical. No way to slice them into equal halves. Most sponges, again, irregular blobs.
Just doing their own thing shape-wise.
Yep. Then you get radial symmetry, like slicing a pie. Any cut through the center axis gives you identical halves. Think jellyfish, coelenterics, comb jellies, ctenophores, adult starfish, echinoderms. Good for sedentary life, facing the world all around.
Okay, like a wheel hub.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's bilateral symmetry. This is us, dogs, insects. Only one way to cut them for identical left and right halves. Gives you a front, back, left, right.
Head end, tail end. Makes sense for moving in one direction.
Exactly. It's typical of more active animals like annelids, arthropods, and, well, most higher animals. Allows for things like heads with sense organs concentrated there.
Moving deeper now.
Oh.
Embryonic layers. Diploblastic and triploblastic. Sounds fundamental. What's the difference?
Oh, it's huge. It's about how many layers of tissue form in the early embryo. Diploblastic animals have 2, an outer ectoderm and an inner endoderm. There might be a jelly layer, the mesoglia in between, but it's not a chew layer. Coelenterids are the classic example. Think 2-layered.
Simple sandwich.
Right. But then came triploblastic animals. They have a 3rd layer, the mesoderm, between the ectoderm and endoderm. And this mesoderm, it's the game changer. It's what allows for complex organs, muscles, bones, circulatory systems. Everything from Platyhelminthes up to chordates is triploblastic.
So that 3rd layer is key for all the complex stuff inside.
Got it.
And linked to that is the chylum, the body cavity.
Precisely. The chylum is that space between the gut and the body wall, crucial for organ development and movement. There are 3 possibilities here. Chylamates have a true chylum. fully lined by that mesoderm layer. That's us, annelids, mollusks, arthropods, echinoderms, the more complex groups.
Okay, a probocavity.
Then you have pseudocoulamates. They have a cavity, but it's not fully lined by mesoderm. The mesoderm is just in patches. It's false column. Aschelminthes, the roundworms, are the prime example.
Sort of an in-between
You
stage.
could see it that way. And finally, achalamates. A meaning without. They just don't have that body cavity. They're solid between the gut and the outer wall. Platyhelminthes, the flatworms, again.
Amazing how much that internal space or lack of it tells us. What about repeating body parts?
Pigmentation.
Ah, yes, metamerism or segmentation. That's where the body is divided, externally and often internally, into repeating segments. You often see repetition of some organs in those segments. It allows for specialization, better movement.
And the classic example everyone knows. The earthworm. Phylum Annelida. You can literally see the rings, the metameres. Perfect example of metameric segmentation.
Easy to remember that one. Okay, final foundational feature. The notochord. Sounds important.
It is incredibly important. It's a rod-like structure derived from mesoderm that forms on the dorsal backside during development in some animals, provides skeletal support, kind of like a primitive backbone.
So animals with it are chordates.
Okay.
And animals without it are non-chordates,
Yeah.
which is basically everything else, from sponges up to starfish.
That's right. Porifera to echinodermata. It's a major dividing line in the animal kingdom.
Okay, foundational blueprints covered. Levels of organization, symmetry, layers, cavity, segments, no chord. Now for the really fun part, let's look at the major phyla. What are the standout, memorable features? The aha moments.
Let's do it. Starting with phylum Porifera, the sponges. Their absolute key feature. A water transport or canal system. Water goes in tiny pores, ostia, flows through canals, and out a big opening osculum. That's how they eat, breathe, get rid of waste.
Filter feeders, basically.
Exactly, and they have unique choanocytes, collar cells, with little flagella to create the current. Remember spongilla, the freshwater sponge.
Got it. Sponges, water canals. Next.
Phylum Coanterata, or Cnidaria. Think jellyfish, corals, sea anemones, their defining feature. Stinging cells, they're called snadoblasts or cnidocytes. Inside is a capsule, a nematocyst, like a tiny harpoon, used for catching prey, defense, anchoring.
Ouch. Don't want to mess with those.
Definitely not. They also have two main body forms. The polyp sessile, cylindrical like hydra, and the medusa free-swimming, bell-shaped like Aurelia, jellyfish. Remember Physalia, the Portuguese man o' war? Very potent.
Polyps and medusas with stingers. Okay.
Then phylum Cynophora. Sea walnuts or comb jellies, really cool animals. Their key trait is 8 rows of ciliated comb plates on the outside. They beat these cilia to move, like tiny iridescent paddles.
Complex for moving. What else?
Bioluminescence, many of them glow in the dark. It's really striking. Pleurobrachia is a good one to picture.
Glowing comb jellies. Memorable. Onto phylum Platyhelminthes. Flatworms.
Yep, flatworms. Dorso-ventrally flattened, like the name suggests. Many are parasitic, and they often have hooks and suckers for hanging on. Internally, they have unique flame cells for excretion and osmoregulation, kind of like primitive kidneys.
And anything else special?
Regeneration. Some, like planaria, can regrow their whole body from a small piece. Incredible ability. And think Taenia, the tapeworm, for a well-known example.
Flat body, flame cells, maybe hooks. Amazing regeneration. Okay, next, phylum Aschelminthes.
The roundworms, key things. Body is round in cross-section, and they are pseudocoelamates, remember, that false body cavity. Ascaris, the common intestinal roundworm, is the classic example here.
Roundworms, pseudocoelamates.
Yeah.
Simple enough. Phylum Annelida. We mentioned earthworm.
The segmented worms, that distinct segmentation, the metameres, is their defining feature. Think little rings, which is what Annelida means. Also important. They have a closed circulatory system, step up. And yes, Ferretimar the earthworm is the perfect image.
Segmented body, closed circulation. Got it. Now for the biggest group, phylum Arthropoda.
The absolute giants of the animal kingdom. Insects, spiders, crustaceans. Over 2/3 of all known species. Key features. A hard, chitinous exoskeleton they have to shed to grow. And the most obvious thing, jointed appendages. Legs, antenna, mouthparts, all jointed.
That's what lets them do so many different things.
Exactly. Incredible adaptability. Think apis, honeybee, Anopheles, mosquito, even limulus, king crab, the amazing living fossil. Jointed legs are the giveaway.
Exoskeleton, jointed legs, huge group. Okay, phylum Mollusca, snails, clams, octopus.
Second largest phylum, usually have a calcareous shell, though sometimes it's internal, like in squid, or absent, like in slugs or octopus. And they have a unique feeding structure in their mouth. The radula. It's like a file or rasp they use to scrape up food.
Or rasping tongue. Cool. Examples.
Pila, apple snail, is a classic shelled one. And octopus, devilfish, shows you diversity without an external shell.
Shell, usually. Radula.
Yeah.
Got it. Phylum Echinodermata. Starfish and their relatives.
Yeah, means spiny-skinned. And that points to their endoskeleton of calcareous ossicles or plates. But their most distinctive feature, the one that's totally unique, the water vascular system.
Ah, yes, you mentioned that. How does it work again?
It's a complex network of canals filled with water connected to little tube feet. They use the water pressure to move, grab food, even breathe. It's incredible engineering. Asterias, starfish, is the quintessential example. Water vascular system, it was a echinoderm.
Spiny skin, water vascular system. Unforgettable.
Yeah.
What about phylum Hemichordata? Sounds like it's related to us.
Sort of. They're worm-like marine animals. They have a structure called a stomacord in their collar region. It's similar to a notochord, but not quite the same thing. An evolutionary stepping stone, maybe. Balanoglossus is the typical example.
Okay, nearly chordates, but not quite. Which brings us to the main event. Phylum Chordata.
Our phylum. And like you said earlier, a key point. All vertebrates are chordates, but not all chordates are vertebrates. You have simpler forms, too.
Right, so what are those absolute must-have chordate features again? Let's recap from memory.
Okay, the big four, fundamentally. 1, a notochord at some stage. 2, a dorsal hollow nerve cord. 3, paired pharyngeal gill slits, again, maybe only embryonically. And 4, a postanal tail.
And they all have
A closed circulatory system.
notochord, dorsal nerve cord, gill slits, postanal tail, closed circulation. That's the chordate checklist.
Exactly. And chordata splits into protochordates, simpler marine forms like tunicates and lancelets, and vertebrata, where the notochord gets replaced by a vertebral column, a backbone, in adults.
Right, the vertebrates
Yeah.
are more familiar relatives. Let's quickly hit the highlights, the memorable features of the main classes within vertebrata.
Okay, first, class Cyclostomata. Jawless vertebrates. Think circle mouth. All the living ones are ectoparasites on fish. They latch on, have that sucking circular mouth, no jaws, primitive.
Like lampreys and hagfish.
Precisely. Petromyzon, lamprey, and myxine hagfish. Very distinctive, almost alien look.
Okay, jawless parasites. Next, class Chondroichthyes. Sharks and rays.
The cartilaginous fish. Key feature. Cartilaginous endoskeleton, no true bone. Also, crucially, no air bladder. This means they have to keep swimming or they'll sink. Constantly moving.
That's a big difference from other fish.
Huge. Some also have electric organs, like electric rays, or a poison sting, like stingrays. Cartodon, great white shark, and trigon, stingray, are perfect examples.
Cartilage skeleton, always swimming. Got it. Then class Eustathes.
The bony fish,
Sure.
vast majority of fish species, they have a bony endoskeleton. They have gills covered by an operculum, that bony flap you see opening and closing. And critically, they do have an air bladder for buoyancy control.
So they can just hang out in the water.
Exactly. Think of almost any fish you know. Labeo, rohu, common in some places. Exocatus, flying fish, uses fins to glide. Hippocampus, seahorse. Bony skeleton, operculum, air bladder.
Okay, fish covered. Moving on to land. Partly.
Right.
Class Amphibia.
Amphibians, frogs, toads, salamanders. Dual life is the key. They can live in water and on land. They typically have moist skin, no scales, and can often breathe through their skin to some extent. Their heart is 3-chambered.
So tied to water, moist skin, easy to spot. Mufo, toad. Rana, frog.
Yep. Next, class Reptilia. Lizards, snakes, turtles, crocodiles, mostly terrestrial. Think dry, cornified skin with epidermal scales or scutes. Protects them from drying out. Heart is usually 3-chambered, but interestingly, it's 4-chambered in crocodiles. A bit more advanced.
That's a good detail. Crocs are different.
Yeah. And a memorable thing. Snakes and lizards shed their scales all at once as a skin cast. You might find those sheds. Crocodilus, crocodile, nausea, cobra, classic reptiles.
Dry scales, shedding skin mostly, 3-chambered heart mostly.
Right.
And glacés, the birds.
Birds. Instantly recognizable by feathers, their absolute defining feature. Forelimbs are modified into wings for flight, usually. Their bones are often hollow with air cavities. Pneumatic bones make them lighter. Heart is completely 4-chambered, very efficient. And they're warm-blooded, homeothermous, maintain their own body temp.
Feathers, wings, hollow bones, warm-blooded. Pavo, peacock, struthio, ostrich, flightless. Aptenidites, penguin.
Perfect examples. And finally, class Mammalia. Us and our furry relatives, the most unique defining mammalian trait. Mammary glands. Milk-producing glands to nourish the young. Nothing else has this. Other key things. Skin has hair. We have external ears, pinnae. Heart is four-chambered. And we're warm-blooded.
Mammary glands and hair are the big giveaways.
Absolutely. Examples are everywhere, but think ornithorhynchus, platypus lays eggs, macropus, kangaroo pouches, Balaenoptera, blue whale, giant marine mammal. Huge diversity within mammals, too.
Okay, wow, that's a whirlwind tour, but seeing those key features for each group really helps slot things into place.
It does, and if you connect it all back, you see how these features cell organization, symmetry, cavities, segmentation, knot to cord, then all those class-specific traits, they build on each other. They provide this amazing framework for understanding the sheer incredible diversity out there. It's not random. There's an evolutionary logic to it all.
So this wasn't just a list of facts for you listening. It was about getting that underlying logic, seeing the patterns and the brilliant variety of life. These classifications, they tell a story. They reflect deep evolutionary history, showing how life adapted and branched out in so many amazing ways. So here's something to think about. Next time you see any animal, could be a fly on the wall, your pet dog, a bird outside, how will knowing these fundamental blueprints change how you see it? What features will you notice first? Can you start to place it mentally within this incredible kingdom based on those core designs we talked about? Give it a try.